Hello and welcome. Thank you guys for joining us today for this Ticket Sign Up 101 webinar hosted by Elizabeth and Katie. Before we get started, I want to go over some housekeeping rules. You do have the ability to minimize or maximize your control panel using the arrow button in the upper left corner. We will be recording this webinar and sending out the recording through email, and it will also be published to YouTube. If you have any questions, feel free to drop them into the GoToWebinar chat box. It should be on the right-hand side of your screen, and we'll be monitoring it throughout the webinar. If your question does not get answered, someone will follow up with you. And with that, I will turn it over to Elizabeth.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Ticket Sign Up 101. I have Katie here with me today, and we're going to be talking about ticket events on Ticket Sign Up. So here's our agenda. I'm going to quickly talk through who we are. So what is Ticket Sign Up? What do we do? Some types of ticket events, and then Katie's going to talk about simple events, Ticket Sign Up, and I'll talk about our advanced ticket events, so our more complicated ones. Then I will do a quick demo, and then we'll talk about some pricing and then answer any questions if you have any. So who are we? We are event technology experts. Our mission is to make it free and easy for small businesses and nonprofits to generate more revenue, grow their events, engage their attendees. We create free and easy to use ticketing software as well as registration software that you can fully control. So our company is TicketSignup and RunSignup. So RunSignup is our registration platform. TicketSignup is our ticketing product. You may know us from RunSignup if you're a current customer there. All one company. We just have a couple of different products to help our customers grow their events. So here's some more details on what Ticket Signup can do. It's great for simple, complex, and multi-day events. We actually have a number of different types of events that we'll talk through a little bit later in the presentation. You can do things like questions, waivers, notifications. That would be like the confirmation email, as well as automated emails and email marketing. We do offer ways to set up a refund policy that you can use for your ticket holders, and we also manage chargebacks on your behalf. This is something that a lot of ticketing platforms actually don't do for you, but we do. And we have a pretty good rate of winning chargebacks on tickets because of that. We do let you sell items in a store, either as add-ons or standalone on your ticketing website. We have a photo platform. We have a couple of self-serve features for attendees, which are really nice. These are optional, but they're good for some types of events like multi-day festivals and things like that. They allow attendees to change the date that they are coming to the event. Things like that. We also have an amazing mobile check-in app. So this is a phone, or you can have it on a tablet or a Chromebook app that allows you to check in your attendees at the event. And a couple other nice things about Ticket Signup are that everything is free. So free tickets are free, so we don't charge any fees other than processing fees, and we'll talk about that again later in the presentation. So free tickets, $0 events are free to you and to us. And then we also offer you a bunch of free features like websites and email marketing. So now we're going to talk through some types of ticket events. Traditional ticket events, these are the most common events that we see on the platform. We've seen at least, a few of these since we've had the Ticket Signup product. Lots of festivals, concerts, lots and lots of golf tournaments, and those are pretty flexible in the different ways you can set them up. We have galas, luncheons, and dinners, which are all pretty similar. Conventions and conferences. A couple of different conferences have used us that had different levels of complexity. Holiday light shows, which is actually what I'm going to be demoing today. Halloween events, corn mazes, cornhole tournaments, and some wine tastings. Those are some common events on Ticket Signup. Some more creative or out-of-the-box ticket events that we've seen or that we can accommodate are a pet voting contest. We've had a couple of these, and the idea of it is that you have either, pets. We sell like an animal shelter where you voted on the cutest pet as sort of a marketing thing and also to raise some money. But any kind of voting contest we can do with our voting feature. scavenger hunts, virtual cooking classes, or really any kind of virtual online event. Oyster roasts, we've actually had a number of these. Pie eating contests, fashion shows, barbecue fests, monster truck meetups, and pickle fests. So all different kinds of festivals and other kinds of fun events have used us before. So as I mentioned earlier, we have two products and two platforms. So the TicketSignup product allows for ticketing, and then our RunSignup product is a pretty flexible registration product, and that is our registration product. So you can use the RunSignup product if you have an event that is a little bit more complex than what our ticketing platform allows for, and it's pretty easy to customize that type of thing. So we have like fundraising features and team features on the registration side that if you need those for your event, you might actually need to use the RunSignup product, and you can work with your account manager or with our support team to figure out where your specific event falls. But here are some basic things on this slide that you can look at when you're thinking about which product to use. So participants in a registration event, typically you need more information from them. You also might have multiple interactions with them, so maybe they don't sign the waiver when they first sign up, but you need to be able to send it back out later so that they can sign it later. Or maybe you're posting results, or if it's a virtual event, they're posting their own results. So for that, when you set up an event on our registration platform, we do require them to create an account on our platform. Whereas with the ticket product, no accounts are required. So you can require a password if you want to, but I think 99% of ticket events do not require their ticket purchasers to create an account with us. They just have to put in their email and their info, and they get their tickets. There's not really that much information collection. There's often like none other than name and email, because you don't need that much for people who are just coming to a festival versus people who are running in a race or participating in a large fundraising event. So ticket events are typically simpler, and it's an easier registration process for the attendee because there's less information required. That's not to say that the ticket events can't be complex. We have had some pretty complex conferences and other types of events that have required more information from ticket holders. So that's where it gets to talk to your account manager, talk to your sales rep, talk to the support team, and figure out what would be best for your specific event if you're trying to figure out what to use. So here's just an example of what the registration product looks like at the top versus the tickets on TicketSignup. So if you are registering for a 5K race on RunSignup, if you want to add additional people, you're going to have to go through the entire registration form for yourself and then hit add another registrant and add the second person. But if you are just buying tickets for the average ticket event on TicketSignup, we are requiring very little information, so you can buy 6 tickets in bulk without having to put in names and emails for each person. All right, so now we're going to talk through the ticket platform and how TicketSignup allows you to do simple ticket events very easily. And then we also have an easy to use advanced ticket setup that allows you to do things like group tickets. So Katie's going to talk through what's a simple event and then some examples. And then I'll talk through some advanced ticket events that we've seen and how they are using TicketSignup.
Yeah, so simple tickets, they can be set up in minutes. It's the easiest type to create. It's just going through the ticket wizard. On that step 2 of the ticket wizard is where you're gonna set up those tickets. And you can also go back into your event dashboard and edit those tickets in any way and add more after you've completed the wizard. But this is gonna be events with just one or few ticket options. So you can see, for example, if you just had a general admission or just or a VIP option, that'd be great for a simple ticket event. And lastly, with simple tickets, you can set ticket caps. So for each ticket level, you can have a cap, or you can actually set cross ticket caps that go across multiple ticket levels. Our first example of a simple ticket event is this poker night fundraiser. So with this option, there's only one ticket available, and you don't really need to collect any information for the ticket holders themselves. You just need a purchaser information and how many seats at the table that they purchased. Another example could be a golf tournament. This one has 5 ticket options. So there's a single player and a team option for both the morning and afternoon tee times. And then they have that one sponsor option. Yep. And then our last example is a scavenger hunt. So for this one in particular, this was set up by the team size. So they had, as you can see, a 2-person team, a 3-person team, and a 4-person team. And then using the information collection or custom questions, they're able to collect the basic information for each of the team members, such as their name and their t-shirt size.
So an advanced ticket event, we use the word advanced to refer to any ticket event that's using ticket groups. So ticket groups are, you can actually see one on the right here. Ticket groups are the categories that you can create for your tickets. So the most common way that people use that right now is if you have a multi-day event, you can create a ticket group for each of your days and then use the tickets within that group to create time slots or options like general or VIP within that. So advanced tickets is pretty powerful because you can set it up a bunch of different ways. So the way that you would do that is you'll go through the wizard and you'll create a simple ticket event like the ones that Katie just described. And from your simple ticket events dashboard, you'll have an advanced tickets tab, and we have a little screenshot of where you can find that. And you'll go there, turn on ticket groups, and then you'll have some additional settings and features that are unlocked, like ticket groups, combo tickets, different types of caps other than the ones that Katie described. So there will be a little bit more in your dashboard after you've turned on ticket groups, and then you can also go into your tickets after that point and build out everything like we have in this example here. So after you've turned on ticket groups, you would go in and create your October 29th and your October 30th for this example over here. And then you would create each ticket within that and then set up your caps and your pricing, and then you're good to go. Also on this slide, we mentioned the combo tickets. So there is a setting for that where you can set up, it's not really like a buy one, get one, but you could do, if you buy 2 of this ticket, you can get up to 4 of this other ticket type. But that other ticket type is locked down until you bought 2 of one ticket. So the most common way that people use that is the example we have here, like buy 2 adult tickets and then you can get 2 of the kids tickets, but you can't buy a kid ticket by itself. So here's an example of an advanced event. The Chicago Beer Fest had 8 time slots over 3 different days over the course of a weekend. They capped each of their time slots at 400 tickets. And they had a very simple buying process. So they only asked for the name and the email of the person purchasing the tickets, which again is pretty common for tickets. And then they just used our check-in app to track the tickets and to see how they were doing at the event with how many people had checked in to monitor capacity for the event. This is like an outdoor festival type event, so it was pretty important for them to make sure that they didn't oversell, so that it wasn't overcrowded and they didn't run out of beer. So they actually had really good results from doing it this way. They had a 110% increase in ticket sales over their previous year and more than a 200% increase in revenue that year. Another example, so this is a golf event. So just like the one that Katie showed, this is another golf tournament using our platform, but this one is more advanced. So they actually used ticket groups because they had a bunch of different sponsorships that they needed to offer. So they used ticket groups to create the sponsorship categories. So they had a silver, gold, and then they had event and program sponsorships. And then within each of those, they had at least one, but up to 6 different options within those. So within the event sponsorships, they would have stuff like, you know, buy a banner at the event or be the food sponsor, things like that. So they offer that as a ticket, which is another nice thing you can do, so that their sponsors can just go in and pay online. So using sponsorships or using tickets for sponsorships is pretty common as well, especially for golf tournament types of events. But there are also other golf tournaments that just use ticket groups to do things like, you know, if it's a multi-day or something, like over the course of a weekend, have a Friday ticket group and a Saturday ticket group, and then the different tee times within those. So you can do a bunch of different things if you have a golf tournament event. I've mentioned conventions and conferences a couple of times. This is the non-convention in Philly. We have, for this one, we have 4 different ticket groups on their page, and they actually used a couple of different features within those. So they actually were collecting more information from people registering for their convention, because it's a convention, so they want to collect things like, where are you from, what company do you work for, things like that. And they had different price points depending on whether or not you worked in the radio industry. So that's why they had so many different options, but they use the ticket groups to organize those options, and also to allow people to do things like add on additional, add on an additional person from my company that I'm bringing for a reduced rate. So they had a pretty complex event overall, but we were able to set it up where it was pretty efficient for somebody to come in and buy a ticket and know exactly what one they were supposed to get. So now I'm going to hop over to our actual platform and show you a demo of creating an event. Today I am creating a holiday light festival. So I'm going to show you what my website looks like for this event. I've actually already created this one. So you can see this is our cover page feature. It looks really nice. I spent maybe 5 minutes today working on this because it's pretty easy to do things like add in the dates here, because all you have to do is add what we call a component in the cover page feature, and this will populate all of your ticket tiles for each day. And then if I click into one, you can see I have time slots set up for this event. So these are my tickets, and then December 28th is my ticket group. So this is an advanced event. Most multi-day type of events like this are going to be advanced using ticket groups. We also have this nice calendar component. I think it looks really good for events that go, over the course of a month or 2 months like this, because it allows people to see what dates you're open and what dates tickets are still available. If I clicked into a date here, it would take me in to the same screen where I could pick from the list of time slots that are available. You can see some of my early days are already selling out. So if you want to come to this, you got to move quick. I've also added some social sharing buttons to my cover page. And then you can see I also am using our website builder to add some content, including a standalone store. So I have an FAQ page. I can add even more content if I have more that I want to add to my website. So this is really a fully functioning website that we provide to you for free when you use us for your ticket event. I'm also taking donations. We haven't really touched on this too much, but a lot of nonprofits use our ticket product. And even if you're not a nonprofit, if you're doing some kind of festival event like this, you're often taking donations on behalf of a nonprofit that you're supporting in your community. So we do offer an integrated donation step if you have donations turned on. So if somebody's buying a ticket, they're able to see a prompt to donate to whatever your cause is. I'm just going to quickly show what the process of building this looks like at a very high level. So here's our website. So TicketSignup.io is where you can go if you're ready to get started, or if you just want to create a test event, or if you want to talk to somebody, you can schedule a call from here too. So if I went here to create my event, I would click either here or here on create an event. I'm already logged in, so I skipped the step of having to log into my RunSignup or TicketSignup account. But if you weren't logged in, or if you didn't have one, you would quickly create your account, and then you'd head right into the wizard here. So I have actually already started the wizard for the same event that I just showed over here. So you just fill out some basic information about your event on step 1, like the location. You can put it in draft, or you can have it public right away. We also have a private option where it just won't be publicly listed, but it'll be viewable. This is where you can turn on donations for your event. So you can turn that on, ask people to donate. I would suggest being a little more descriptive than I'm being right now. And then when you go to create your event, gotta put my event date in. So when you go to create your event, you're going to be able to create your tickets right here in, struggling with dates today, right here in step 2. So again, if you're doing an advanced event like this one that I'm creating, because like I showed, we have a bunch of different ticket groups here across different days, you really don't need to spend much time creating tickets in the wizard because you're just going to create groups later on. So I could just create a single ticket here that's called ticket. Maybe put the actual price of my tickets in here so that it's somewhere. And then once I've gotten through the wizard, I'm going to go back in later and use advanced tickets to create my groups and all my time slots. And I'm going to be able to copy those a bunch of times. So I'm not going to put much time into creating my tickets here. And I recommend that if you are setting up a similar type of event. I'm going to use my existing payment account here, but this is where you would create a payment account if you didn't have one yet. And then once I've done that, I'm going to select what my processing fee preferences are. We do give you the option to either observe it yourself or to pass it on. I'm going to save and continue. And then here I've completed the wizard. I can view my website for this new event that I've created, or I can go to my dashboard. So if I wanted to actually build out this event just like the real one that I've built here, I would go into advanced tickets, enable it, and then this is what's going to give me all those additional tabs that I mentioned and also the ability to build out ticket groups. So we give you one ticket group to start with. We just stick that existing ticket that you made in the wizard right into that ticket group, but you can always delete this, rename it, rebuild it, and then create all your other ticket groups from here. So I would just go in here to edit ticket group, call this December 1st, save it, and then I could add my tickets to it, and then I would go to copy it after I had created all of my tickets for each time, and then I would just copy it for each day of the month that I'm open for my festival. So pretty simple to set up still. There's definitely more steps than just creating the one ticket in the wizard, but pretty easy to use. And then you'll just, after you've created all of your tickets and everything, you'll be able to do things like build out your website or set up your confirmation email to include important information, turn on the check-in app, create your standalone store. So all of these tabs over here have a bunch of different features in them that you can use to enhance your event. So with that, I think that's good for the demo, unless Katie, you think there's anything I should hit on. Do we have any questions that have come in?
There's just one question that came in, and you touched on it a little bit earlier, but maybe if you just want to go into a little bit more. They asked, can we sell sponsorships on the platform and include number of tickets per level? So like if a sponsorship included 10 tickets when you purchase the sponsorship.
Yes. So like I showed for that one example, it is pretty common for like, especially golf tournaments and other kind of nonprofit events like that, to use the just actual tickets for sponsorships. So if I was doing it on my Holiday Light Festival event here, what I could do is create a sponsorship group, and then I would just create a ticket within that group for the specific sponsorship levels that I'm offering. What I recommend for handling that though is, so you would create your ticket. I'm just going to create it within my existing group just for the sake of time. So I would just call this sponsorship, save it, and then I would have to go over and set a price on this. So say sponsorship is $500. I would just charge $500 for this ticket, which is really a sponsorship. And then if it's something where the sponsors get like 10 free tickets with the purchase of a sponsorship, I would just send them a coupon code with 10 tickets like associated with it. So it's good for 10 tickets. And then they could use that coupon code to go in and choose their time slot or to just buy their tickets that way. So there's not really a great way to set it up so that it automatically issues 10 tickets. And usually you don't even know what 10 people are going to come right when you're buying the sponsorship anyway. So it's usually best to do it as two different steps. So sell them the sponsorship as one ticket and then give them a coupon code where they can disseminate that among their employees or whatever, if it's a business to use for their free tickets that come with the sponsorship.
And we actually had a few more come in. So someone's looking for a platform to use for webinars. So they're asking, would all the webinars be on one page? Only one person can register for any or all of the webinars at one time.
So we don't have a Zoom integration or anything like that where it automatically creates a Zoom link or anything when somebody signs up for your event, but I have seen people use the TicketSignup for online events like cooking classes, like I think we mentioned on one of the slides, or we have like an online gala that uses us every year. It's like completely online and they do like a live stream on, I think it's on Facebook or YouTube. So it's definitely possible to do that kind of online event, but if you want something that is like integrated tightly with Zoom or another webinar platform, we don't have that integration right now. But what you could do is, if you did want to use us, you could take the registration for your webinars through a ticket event. So what I would recommend for that is to create a ticket event for each of your webinars, and then maybe create one master page that has the links to all of them. And there's a couple different ways to do that. We have a component that allows you to do that, where you can just manually put in the links or put them as buttons. And then, so you collect your registrations that way, and then for each webinar, you would just send out the link to it to everybody who had signed up through email or through our email system, which we haven't really talked about that much, but we do have a free email system. So you would have to just create your own Zoom link, but then send it out via email to the people who have signed up, and that would be the best way to accomplish it. So definitely possible, and we are free. So if you're trying to choose between using a service that like automatically creates the webinar links for you and us, like I said, it's not going to be automatic with us, but we don't charge we only charge processing fees. We don't charge an additional like service fee, and we don't charge per person or anything like that. So it's possible. I hope that's answers the question.
All right, and then we have a few more. One of them you can kind of probably answer to, and we had one question about the QR code process for checking in participants, and then also another question about if multiple participants register together but they're not coming to the event together, are they able to transfer the tickets to each person so they don't have to wait to enter together?
So yeah, so those are good questions to answer together. So the way that it works is when somebody buys a ticket to an event on TicketSignup, they're going to get our confirmation email, which includes a QR code. That QR code is good for check-in, and it's going to be one QR code per purchase. So if I bought 6 tickets, I still get one QR code, but it's good for 6 tickets at check-in. So the nice thing about our check-in app is that when somebody shows up with that QR code, that's good for 6 tickets, but they only have maybe them and one other person with them, and the other 4 people are showing up later. The volunteer or the staff member who's checking people in is going to be able to scan that QR code, see that there's 6 tickets associated with it, but there's a way to only check in 2 people. So you would just, hit a little button that allows you to just check in the first 2 people on that purchase. So you would do that, and then when the other 4 people show up later with the same QR code, when that volunteer scans their QR code, they're going to see, oh, these are the other 4 people for that other purchase. So they're just going to check in those 4 people, and then the entire purchase will be checked in. So you can split it up across a purchase. So it's still going to be one QR code. And if I bought 6 tickets, I would probably forward that email to people if I thought that we were not going to be showing up together, so that they have the code. But you don't have to show up together in order to be checked in, because we're able to split that up.
All right. And then there's another question. I recently set up ticketing for an event. Is there a way to add a map to show my location?
So I don't think we show that on the info page typically. No, yeah. So right now we just show the address here. I think you could link to a Google map, but we don't have like an integration that automatically shows like your location on a map in like this location section of the page. But you could build a button pretty easily with the website builder that just links to your location on Google Maps or Apple Maps. Is that pretty much it for questions for now?
So there's a few more questions. Can you make a weekend pass ticket that can be reused for multiple days?
I would chat with your account manager or our support team about like the best way to accomplish that. But yes, we have seen that before. The way that we usually handle that is you can check people in multiple times with the check-in app. So you could create one ticket, like you're saying, that's called weekend pass, and then if they show up on Saturday and then they show up again on Sunday and you look them up both times, you see that they have a weekend pass, you can check them in both times, but it's still just one ticket. So only the last like timestamp for the check-in would really show up in your reports if you care about that. So it's possible, but you could also do something with either combo tickets, or we have like a way to integrate store items with tickets, a little bit more complex, but might actually do what you're looking for. It really depends on like what you're trying to set up for your event and how you usually do it. We could probably recommend for you. So reach out to info@ticketsignup.io if you want to talk to somebody. And we can probably recommend the best way to set that up.
All right. And then the next question, with the coupon codes, can you put a limit on how many people can use it? If I have a sponsorship that I'm selling to 4 people and we'll have 4 free tickets for each sponsor, would I need 4 different coupon codes for each sponsor?
So it depends again, because for sponsors, I would create a separate coupon for each of your sponsors and I would probably just call it like their business name. So I wouldn't create just a single sponsor coupon and send it out to all my sponsors, because people are more likely to abuse that kind of thing. And also the way that you set it up is just a little bit easier if you do it per sponsor. But yes, you can set a number on a coupon code of tickets that it's good for, or a number of times it can be used. So I'll show you the coupon page to give you an idea. So if I edit this coupon here, under the advanced options, I'm able to limit the total uses of the coupon, the total tickets that are available, and then the total tickets per transaction. So like this would be if I wanted to do, I can only use it for 1 ticket per transaction or something like that. So yes, there's a couple different ways to limit it, but for sponsors specifically, I would just create a separate one for each sponsor.
All right. And then another question, there's a few more that came in. Where will my event be listed? With RunSignup, I can search for events in my area, but does TicketSignup offer that?
Yeah, so that's a great question. We actually have on the RunSignup website the Find an Event, which I think is what you're talking about. So if I go to runsignup.com and find a race, I can search for races. But you'll notice here's a Holiday Lights Fest. This is a ticket event. So we actually list them all in the same event listing on our website. And that's partly for SEO reasons, so that they show up in more places. One of the big things behind SEO is how many different sites your website is linked to from. So like if we list you here and then you're listing your event on Facebook and you're linking to the ticket page, that helps your SEO because it's two different places pointing at your website. So we do it here for you. It will also show on Google. Google takes a little bit longer for it to show up because also because of SEO, but also just because of the way that they do their like their event calendars. So there are a couple of different event listings that will also show ticket sign up events. But we are not like other ticket platforms that cross promote ticket events on your actual page. So if somebody's on your ticket page and they're buying tickets or looking at buying tickets, they're not going to see other events in their area cross promoted right there on the page, like is the case with some ticket platforms. So.
All right, the next question, what are the tickets when they're purchased? Are they just QR codes? How do I protect someone from sharing a ticket or code since only purchaser information is put in?
So we send a confirmation email, which is both a receipt and also the actual ticket, if you think about it that way, with every purchase. So like I described earlier, when you buy a ticket, you get one email and it describes how many tickets you bought and the information for each one if you asked for that. So if I was asking for name on each individual ticket in a purchase, I would have like the first names of all 6 people who are coming to the event under that purchase. The QR code is what's actually sort of redeemed at the event site if you're using our check-in app though. And that's going to tell us, again, if you scan it and it shows that some people have already checked in using it and you're not allowing people to check in multiple times, then you're going to know that that one's already been used. So I think that will answer that. But if you have more questions or concerns around that, feel free to reach out to us and we can probably answer your question in more detail.
All right, looking at, I think there's a few more in here. All right, so for an event that's held weekly, if they have custom questions with ticketing, is there a way to omit asking the custom questions when a repeat customer makes a subsequent purchase since they already know the answer?
That is an interesting question. I think for a weekly event, you would probably want to create a separate ticket for people who are like coming every single week to accomplish that. So you would have like one ticket for like, this is my first time coming, and you ask some intro questions, and then either within the same event or as a separate ticket event that you just link to, you have a registration for people who are just going to come every single week or who are going to come more than, you know, who it's not their first time. So again, I would probably say just like a separate ticket or maybe a separate ticket event entirely, but it kind of depends on what you're trying to do and what the event is. So reach out to your account manager if you have one, or to our support team, and we can help you if you already have that set up or if you're just looking at setting it up.
And then if someone bought tickets and transferred them to someone else, will they still be able to access their tickets, or is there a way to delete their access?
Okay, so this might be a follow-up to that earlier question. So there's not a way currently to transfer tickets to another person without contacting the event director. There's not like a gift transfer type of action that somebody can take with their own tickets. So if that were the case, the person would have had to reach out to the event director in order to sort of pass on their tickets, and then the event director could go in and edit the details on that ticket, including the email address and the name, and then resend the confirmation email. So then that way it would show up under a different name when somebody tried to check in using that gift transferred ticket. So the person checking them in would be able to kind of verify that that was the right person. But because we don't have an actual way to like transfer person to person right now, I guess technically you could show up with the QR code that you had given to someone else if you had gone through that process. And depending on the event's process for check-in, you might be able to get in. But again, I think that's kind of a rare scenario, but you can chat with our support team if you have concerns about that for your specific event.
Yeah, there's a follow-up question to that, just if there's any plans to add a transfer feature down the road.
I do think that's something we will eventually add. We have an equivalent thing on RunSignup, which is our registration platform, and we would probably do it pretty similarly to how we do it there. So yes, I do think eventually we'll add that, but it's not, I don't think it's a current development priority. But again, if that's something that's important to your event, reach out to us, and we can talk about either ways to facilitate that with what we have now, or maybe get it prioritized.
And then I think the last one was just touching back on what our fees are.
Yeah, so I didn't actually finish the presentation because I saw there were some questions coming in, but that is a great segue back into our last couple of slides. So what do we charge? We don't charge any fees for things like service fees or platform fees or sign-up fees. All we charge is a single processing fee, and that is only on paid transactions. So like I mentioned way back at the beginning, free tickets are free. We don't charge any processing fees on those because we only make money if you're making money. So you can see a breakdown of what our fees are depending on your cart total. For most events, this yellow section here is what your fee is going to be, because we don't have a ton of super high dollar $250 tickets out there. So 6% plus $1 on the transaction. It's important to point out that it's on the transaction and not per ticket, because if you're buying a bunch of tickets in bulk, or even if you're just buying like 3 or 4, but they're more higher priced, you're actually saving a good amount of money because it's on the transaction versus per ticket. So it's free. All of our features are free. There's no, we don't have different plans or anything that give you different levels of access to features. Everybody gets access to everything. You will create a payment account with us if you have not created one already, and that is how you'll connect that payment account to any and all of your events that you create on our platform after you've first created that payment account. So we do require one for free events, but other than that, we do not charge any money for free events. Creating a payment account is free. You just have to have one so that we can make sure that we're working with legitimate organizations. And then I don't know if there's any more questions, but we do have this kind of list of our free tools. So free websites, I showed the Holiday Light Festival website. Free email, we have a full email marketing system that allows you to upload contacts as well as email people who have signed up for your event already. You can email them as many times as you want, although there's probably not best practice to spam people. We have unlimited sends, unlimited contacts, unlimited custom lists. We have a number of free marketing tools like referral rewards and refunds. So that's something like if you refer 5 people, you get a $25 refund of what you paid for your ticket. Things like that. We automate that, so it's really easy to set up and use. We have a free photo platform. I didn't show that on the website that I showed, but you can actually create photo albums that show up right on your website. So great way to feature either photos from last year or photos from the current year. And then the QR codes and ticket check-in app, which we've covered today already with the questions. But it's a very efficient app, and we have a number of resources on that. So if you're listening and you have questions about it, reach out to us or drop a question in there right now, and we can send you some more resources on how that app works in detail.
And we just had 2 more questions come in. Is there a way to add a seating chart? That's the first one.
We do not do seating charts, and that is not something that we plan on doing, at least not at this point. So if you need a seating chart, if it's something like a concert or something, this is probably not the solution for that event.
And the last one, can you automate emails based on ticket date or time slot?
Yeah, so I think this is asking about like our email marketing automated emails. So when somebody signs up, they get a confirmation email instantly, automatically. So that's always turned on. But we also have within our email marketing feature, we have automated emails that you can set up to go out to your ticket purchaser post purchase. So if I bought a ticket today, you could have created an email that's now scheduled to go out, say 2 days after my ticket purchase today. I can show what that looks like. I don't think I have any in this event, but I'll just quickly show where you would find it. So under automated emails, there's a ticket purchase follow-up email that you can turn on and enable, and you can set how many days after a ticket purchase and at what time you want to send the email, or you can do specific date automated emails. So this would be like if you wanted to send out a post-purchase follow-up email on a specific date at a specific time. We also have the ability to just like schedule emails through the regular email sending up here. So kind of depends on what you're trying to do, but yes, we have both of those capabilities.
We actually did just get one more question just about will the webinar be online to be looked at later?
Yeah, we're recording this and it'll be up on YouTube within a day or two. And we'll send out an email to everybody who registered with the link to it if you want to review it, or you can just check out our YouTube channel.
Cool. I think that's all the questions.
Well, thank you everybody for joining us and for all the good questions. Like I mentioned several times, if you have specific questions on your specific event or situation, you can reach out to info@TicketSignup.io, which is our general support email for the ticket product. And they will either escalate it to your account manager if you have one, or they will answer your question there. Or if you have an account manager and you know who it is, it might be me or Katie, you can email us directly and we will be happy to advise you on your specific situation or help you get started. If you haven't gotten started yet, or if you aren't quite sure what your situation is, you can use the schedule a call button on our website, which is TicketSignup.io, and we'll get somebody in touch with you to talk about your event. So feel free to reach out if you have any questions about anything we talked about today that you didn't get to share, and we'll see you all at the next webinar.